All right there, survivors, side hustle survivalists. Back again for part 2, 3, or 4, whichever part it is. These videos are becoming quite long, and we're talking about categories. So if you're looking at seeing this for the first time, stop where you're at and get out and go back to video 1 because you're not going to have a clue what I'm talking about right now. But anyway, side hustle survivalist here. Hit that like and subscribe button. And we're going to start this second series on categories for tax deductions and taxes on the Quicken and/or QuickBooks program. All right, Quicken Deluxe is the one I recommended in the first one. And now we're going to go into our second part. So I went over all the business expenses that were tax deductible and electric in the first video. Now, this video, we're going to cover, I told you I put down what I do with the farm. Now, this isn't for everybody, but one of the things, the farm is just a business heading. And so this could be your editing business, Bear, Nate. You could separate it out, but you would also use that business expense category as before. Go back to the first video, watch it, guys, everybody, if you know what I'm talking about. But I'm setting this out as this is a separate division, a separate heading in my Quicken Deluxe concerning my farm. And so this will kind of give you an idea of some of the things that you could put in as headings for your farm. And then we're going to go over just a couple of non-deductible categories and how I do that. Again, this is just my opinion. I am not a certified CPA, nor am I a tax advisor. But I will say I probably know more than 95% of them all put together. So anyway, here we go. All right. So under the farm category, and I have over here, this is all tax deductible, okay? And the farm. And you want to put your stuff that you know is going to be tax deductible in this. Again, I have in here feed. Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. So if I have chickens, if I have rabbits, if I have goats, sheep, donkeys, cattle, in my case, it's cattle and chickens, or horses, then anything you buy feed farm-wise for your farm is tax exempt. Sidebar, all right, sidebar, farm. If you had not gotten a farm tax exemption card, you need to contact your county assessor in your county, no matter what state you're in. You go through your county assessor, ask them about getting a farm sales tax exemption card. Here in Oklahoma, I believe the rules are you got to have at least 5-6 acres. And then if you have any kind of livestock, and chickens count as livestock, rabbits count as livestock. Even if you have 2 chickens, you can be considered as a farm. Therefore, you can get a farm sales tax exemption. And that means that you can go whenever you go to Lowe's, Home Depot, they have the program set up, Tractor Supply. They will take your farm sales tax exemption card, and you will not have to pay any sales tax on feed, any kind of building materials that you have to use to take care of those animals and/or to work on your farm, any kind of fencing, any kind of setup, anything that does improvement upon your farm and/or repair. And we're going to get into that up here. But just a sidebar. First, go to your county assessor. That's where you have to go to. They will direct you on how to do that. And the key word you want to ask, farm sales tax exemption card. Okay? And my deal is kind of falling here. All righty, back on this. So feed, fuel. Obviously, if you're driving your farm truck or you're doing anything for the farm, we covered all this in the first video. You can stick your fuel in here in the Quicken. Livestock, this is all pretty self-explanatory. So anything, that has to do with your livestock, this could be when you buy cattle, sell cattle, or chickens, rabbits, goats, sheep, whatever it may be. Anything, if you go to the butcher shop, you can put your butcher fees in here, kill fees and butcher fees and everything along those lines. So that is anything with your livestock. And I separated out for vet. Obviously, you don't have to put that. Vet stands for veterinarian, but you can actually put that all into your livestock deal also. But one thing in the livestock, because you can break down these categories into even smaller categories, but your livestock you can separate out as if you have cattle, sheep, chickens, goats, whatever it may be, horses. You can actually make a subcategory, and you can do that just for budget purposes only to see what you're spending per species of livestock along those lines. All right, repairs. Again, I just covered that just a second ago. Anything on repairs, if you have to do repairs, broken fence, a tree fell through your barn roof and you have to put a new roof on your barn, 100% tax deductible. It's a barn repair. If you utilize your garage for putting your chickens in and or your rabbits or whatever it may be, anything that you do to that garage is tax deductible because that's considered part of a farm expense. So any kind of repairs, you can look at it that way. If you have a ranch house or for ranch hands, then building that house for the ranch hands is tax deductible, 100% tax deductible, because it's building for your farm. So again, kind of segue this into outside the box thinking, besides just a farm, of your different type of businesses that you have. And you could, I don't know, be imagining. Supplies, obviously, that's like your building material, your supplies you have. I separate my repairs from my supplies so I can see how much money I spend on fixing everything all the time that my ranch hands always seem to break down, and kind of gives me an idea of what I need to focus on with new employees for ranch hands. All right, supplies, website. If you have a website for your farm,